on Public Enemy. I came to tell white supremacists. I came to tell MAGA. I came to tell white privilege. We coming, we coming, we coming. We coming, we coming. God said, when you give me glory, I'm going to run them out of the State Department. If you give me glory, I'm going to run them out of Congress and run them out of Senate. If you give me glory, I'm going to run them off of your job and run them off of your classroom. I need you to take your neighbor's hand and say, neighbor, we got to shout like we got faith.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about woke political operative Jamal Bryant. Now, I can't call Jamal Bryant a pastor because I'm not sure if he is a man of God. I definitely don't think that he is a mouthpiece for God. I don't think that he speaks for God. I don't think he understands the word of God. And one of the reasons why I believe this is because it is clear that his agenda in regards to his sanctuary that is supposed to be a place of worship for God has turned into a political campaign, right? A political campaign on behalf of Democrats and liberals who are opposed to DEI being rolled back by big corporate America, okay? Because big corporate America has figured out after the Georgia fortification of this country that DEI is not profitable, okay? It does not make sense to have diversity, equity, and inclusion to spend money on an initiative that doesn't generate a positive return on investment. Again, this is a simple business decision, right? It's not personal, okay? It's not personal. Corporate America is just looking out for their dollars. But the woke revolutionaries, the activists, the black bourgeoisie, they can't accept this because DEI hurts them the most, okay? Not normal, average, everyday, working class black folks. No, it's actually just the black elites, right? The African-American studies degree class, right? The gender studies degree type of people, okay? The underwater basket weaving degree type people. Yeah, they're the ones that are the most affected by DEI because the DEI programs and initiatives employed those people, okay? It was a giant grift off the taxpayer dollars of America, okay, at the government level. Trump got rid of that, and corporate America has followed. So Jamal Bryant and the Race Hustlers, they're upset about this, and now they're calling for a so-called 40-day fast against Target for rolling back DEI. So I want to go ahead and get into it, but before we get into it, we have to have a word from the sponsor of this video, Noble Gold. How fast can stock market sentiment change? In an instant. Just ask NVIDIA investors. $600 billion wiped out overnight instantly. No warning, no second chance. Market crashes, they don't wait. They strike fast, devastating the unprepared. But smart investors, they're one step ahead, protected and prepared. For nearly a decade, my friends at Noble Gold have helped investors protect their wealth with gold IRAs and physical gold. With over $2 billion in precious metal sales, Noble Gold is the place for Americans who are serious about their financial security. Gold is real, it's yours, and it retains value. And now, when you open a qualified account, you'll receive 2 5-ounce silver America the Beautiful coins for free. Are you diversified? If not, when will you act? When your portfolio is down 10, 20, 30%? Or will you protect your portfolio now? The next market crash won't send a warning. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com today. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Don't just grow your wealth, guard it. And just remember, there's a risk with every investment and there's no guarantee of any kind.
Targetfast.org. I want you to share with everybody on your job, every person in your home, every person in your sphere of influence, every person who follows you on social media. I am believing for 100,000 people are going to sign this covenant commitment of not just prayer, but fasting from Target. Here's what is amazing. Listen to me, because what we learned from the Montgomery bus boycott is that racist America doesn't respond to speeches. They respond to dollars. Come on, and if they start losing $29 million a day for 40 days, we will break the back of the system.
Yeah, do these people really believe that these individuals are that organized and that they can pull this off? Right? I don't believe this, right? I believe that this is like an internet thing, right? I do not believe that the average everyday black person is going to boycott Target over DEI, Okay, I just don't believe it. And part of the reason why is because when I go to Target, I still see black people, right? So I'm just saying, like, I just don't think that this is going to be that effective. I guess on paper, you can say, well, black dollars contribute this much. But honestly, I mean, let's be real. If the counter protesters or the opposition that wants to support Target due to the fact that they did roll back DEI, if they decided to counter protest by shopping at Target more, it would be pretty easy to offset whatever or however much money Target loses because black people decided to stop shopping at Target, because black people are only 13% of the population. When these hustlers learn that very simple math, okay, about how black people are not that many people in this country, then you'll understand that this stuff, honestly, again, the conservative movement was effective at this, but that's because the conservative movement is bigger than 13% of the population, right? I'm just saying. And it was a political coordinated thing, right? It was political. Being black doesn't mean that you have to support DI, right? But again, that's why they want to make it political, because that's their only chance of making it effective. It's to try to make it political, to broaden the appeal of the fast or the boycott. I just don't think it's going to work, because I don't think people care that much.
I want to go on record that not only am I asking you to fast for 40 days from Target, I am telling you to sell all of your Target stock. I want the stock to go down, because we are standing in righteous indignation against racism and sexism in this nation.
I would be very surprised if the individuals in this audience, if a majority of them had a brokerage account, right? They got a brokerage account and they own some Target stock. They can actually, sell Target stock. They're good on them, right? Good on them. But I don't think the call to sell Target stock is really going to do much at all, to be honest with you. Because I guarantee you a vast majority of these individuals don't own any stock in Target, or probably didn't know that Target was a publicly traded company, or didn't know at all that they could own a piece of Target, right? I'm just saying. I don't know. I just don't think that one's going to be a very effective form of protest, to be honest with you.
I hear the naysayers, I hear the pundits, I hear those who are detractors saying, how will this impact our black businesses? I'm glad you asked. You at New Birth, you're not at that church. So as a consequence, when it is that you register to be a part of this 40-day fast, we have come into partnership with the National Black Chamber of Commerce. National Black Chamber of Commerce CEO is here with us on the day. Brother Busby, would you please stand? Thank you so very much for being with us from Washington, D.C. Listen to me very carefully. When you register for this fast, we will send you a digital directory of 300,000 black businesses in America, where you can do your business instead of going to Target. Y'all not saying anything to me. You can buy black-owned paper towels and toilet paper and soap and dishwashing detergent. Do you know what it's going to be for America when we start shifting our own economic ecosystem and start investing in ourselves?
Could you imagine a white person saying this? I mean, seriously, if a white pastor gave an overtly political speech, this has nothing to do with Christianity, spirituality, Jesus, none of that, right? It has nothing to do with the Gospels, absolutely zero to do with what people are supposed to go to church for, which is to learn more about the Bible. This is probably the primary reason why a lot of men don't go to church, because they don't actually teach the Bible in church. Okay, they don't actually really do that anymore, right? Church has become more about motivation and making women feel good about their bad decisions. That is what the modern day church has become about, and this type of political activism, right? But again, could you imagine a white pastor saying, we're going to shop at the white businesses only, right? We're going to boycott this business because they're not being racist, right? They're not giving us preference, right? They're not giving preference to whites. So therefore, we're going to take our white dollars and we're going to go shop at the white business only. We're going to support white only. Now, we know the outrage over that, right? I'm trying to figure out, why is this okay, but why wouldn't that be okay, right? I'm just saying. And these same people will turn around and tell you they believe in equal rights, but they don't, right? They don't believe in equal rights. Because if we lived in a country where we actually had equal rights and equality, a white pastor would be able to say the same thing. White people would be able to band together and to say, well, I'm just going to support white only, right? But again, the reason why that's not allowed is because if white people actually did that, then it would be pretty bad for everybody else. So that's why that's not an acceptable thing to say or to do, right? When, these people do it, I mean, it's kind of like, okay, well, whatever, right? But if all the white people said, we're only doing business with white only, okay, nobody else, it'd be devastating. These people would be absolutely devastated. A lot of these individuals wouldn't have jobs, okay? I'm just saying.
Let me further say to all of the black vendors who presently have products in Target, we are not starting for 30 days because I want you to have enough time to shift all of your product digitally so that the community will be able to support you. Your business will not fail and your family will not suffer.
I would not rely on this, right? If I'm a so-called black-owned business in Target, and, I'm actually selling a good product, I'm not there because of DEI, okay? Do not take this advice. Do not shift all your product, all your supply over to whatever this dude is talking about. Please don't do that. If you do that, then you deserve to go bankrupt, right? You deserve to go out of business, right? Don't do that, okay? Because there's not going to be enough people boycotting Target for it to make a difference, right? If you got a good product, you're going to be fine. But some idiot that follows this guy, say, hey, yeah, shift all your supply to another channel where you don't have as many sales, right? Where you're not going to make as much money. Yeah, do that, right? Probably not a good idea. Just saying.
Additionally, every black business that is not in the Black Chamber of Commerce, you got 30 days because the fast does not start until March the 3rd. I need Target to be on a full alert because we are operating in decency and in order. We are operating in decency and in order. We are operating in decency and in order. I'm going to say it again. We're operating in decency and in order. I'm saying this before they got a new FBI chief that calls us a terrorist organization. We doing it in decency and in order.
I mean, I'm not going to go as far as to call you a domestic terrorist organization, but certainly you're not a religious institution, right? This is just straight up activism, political activism, which means that you should probably lose your nonprofit status, right? You should probably be taxed. Okay, that's what the Trump administration should do. So anyways, with that being said, it's not just the black community or the bourgeoisie blacks, the black liberals that are boycotting Target. You also have a Latino freeze that is happening as well too. So the woke Latinos are now also joining in on trying to boycott companies over rolling back DEI.
Growing backlash tonight against national retailers that have started eliminating or rolling back their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Latino leaders are calling for a boycott of those big stores. The movement is known as the Latino Freeze, and activists like civil rights leader Dolores Huerta are leading the charge. NBC Bay Area's Damian Trujillo is in San Jose with the story.
Target is one of those being targeted for the nationwide boycott. This after the national chain joined others in eliminating its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. The idea of a Latino freeze is growing. The idea is for Latinos to stop shopping at big stores and restaurants like Target, Walmart, and McDonald's, places that recently rolled back their DEI programs. The move followed similar action by the White House and federal government.
If you don't respect our community, then, you shouldn't have our dollars.
Civil rights leader Dolores Huerta is helping lead the charge for a national boycott. Comedian John Leguizamo is also on board and is pushing for a national freeze on all shopping February 28th, calling it an economic blackout.
The call to action for the Latino freeze is targeting specific brands.
Dr. Caroline Chen is professor at San Jose State School of Business. Dr. Chen says that Latinos make up $3.5 trillion in buying power, meaning this isn't an idle threat. But she also notes a successful boycott would need to be a prolonged one, lasting longer than a month.
If it was 2 months, 3 months, 6, et cetera. Maybe then, yeah, then you'd make significant inroads to hurting those particular companies economically.
Shoppers we spoke with are buying the call for a Latino boycott.
I support the Latinos people, the migrant people that come to work.
We reached out to Target for reaction to the boycott, but have not heard back. Huerta says the time to act is now.
And the least we can do is send a message to Donald Trump's backers. You know what? If you don't want to support our community, then our community is not going to support you.
Still leading the charge for diversity, equity, and inclusion at 94. Damian Trujillo, NBC Bay Area.
Wow. So, hey, maybe the Latinos will be successful. I don't know, right? I don't know personally. I just think a lot of this is just silly to me. Because ultimately at the end of the day, the whole DEI thing, if you earned it, it's not a big deal, right? Nobody cares. But it's for those people who didn't earn it, who want a subsidy, they want a handout. Those are the people that are most upset. We will see how these racial boycotts work. Okay, we will see if Target will bend the knee. But, low key, I kind of feel like Target deserves what they're getting because they should not have went woke in the first place, right? If they didn't go woke in the first place, they would have to come out here and abandon DI, right? So if you don't embrace DI, you don't have to abandon it. So they should not have went political, right? And now they're stuck because they're like, okay, we signed up to basically give out this subsidy, give out this money to a bunch of people who don't generate a positive return on investment for us. And now we have to get rid of it and we have to suffer because of it, right? Because these people are now going to try to boycott my store. Now, yeah, I don't know if it's going to be successful or not. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But regardless, just the fact that they went political, now it's hard to not be political because not being political now is political, right? And that's essentially what Target is dealing with. And that's what a lot of these companies are dealing with. So with that being said, we will see how successful these boycotts will be. I personally wouldn't bet on it, right? I wouldn't bet on these boycotts being very effective, but who knows? Maybe there will be. We will see. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.